My mom stilled a secret when she was drunk, and she will never know I still take advantage of it to this day. When I was the fine age of just 11 years old, my dearest of aunts came for a visit for the first time. Her name was Aunt Flo. Some of you are getting it, and some of you are not, so let me clarify. Barely getting into my double digits, I became another bleeding woman of society, ready to reproduce. I sound bitter, I know, but by being forced to mature hormonally, could have definitely waited until I was at least out of elementary school. That would have been nice. Alas, I was the youngest of 4 siblings, in a boy, girl, pattern, which meant I was destined to be the spoiled princess. Let me just say this before I get into my confession, and remember this. I was raised in a rather fortunate house, where I wasn't abused in any way and loved wholeheartedly. I do not take for granted the things that were scrounged up by my parents and the sacrifices that they made, individually for each of us. However, I have the slightest resentment towards my mother because her consumption of alcohol when I was younger and how I reacted towards it. Mom wasn't a violent drunk, never has been, and today I would say she was a funny drunk, but back then, in my childhood, she was different. I didn't like that. I couldn't handle another spontaneous change in life that was just thrown on me, like puberty had been. There were no warnings, maybe the failure start of health education for elementary students, but I didn't know how to prepare, even if there was any. I really didn't notice her change in personality at first, but when it became more frequent and totally different to what I was used to, that was when I paid attention. The strongest memory I have of her, other personality, is when one night she called me into her room to talk to my sister and me. When I walked in the room, the stench of what I thought was rubbing alcohol burned my nostrils and put me almost immediately on guard. She was waving around an interesting-looking glass that I learned later was cleverly called a wine glass and jabbering away about her toy box. She looked drained of all energy and just loopy, like she had no cares in the world and that what she was holding and her story were the best things ever. Because I wasn't a complete idiot, I pieced together what she was drinking when she mixed some type of clear liquid that definitely didn't smell like water from where I was standing, with Pepsi, and taking a big swig out of it before lulling back into her dream state of happiness. It seemed my sister and I realized what was going on at the same time. Since we exchanged glances,